Oh, here's your heads up to this 5-minute quickie. It's all about what do you do next? Or what do you do first? How do I make a decision to start when I don't know how to start? And it was a little note to myself that gave me a slap around the head and said, well, you have to listen. It's a 5-minute quickie, something to make you muse, just as I mused. Have a listen after this. Hey, welcome to the Personal Development Unplugged podcast with me, Paul Cloughie. And this is an FMQ, a 5-minute quickie podcast, which never lasts 5 minutes. It always goes a little bit longer. But it's a chance for you and I just to muse, to think of a subject, to talk about it for a few minutes, and then spend time thinking, seeing how it would change our life if we maybe developed it a little deeper. And maybe sometimes these 5-minute quickies will go into a longer podcast where we can dive deeper and produce processes, hypnosis processes, NLP processes. Don't worry about the names. They're just processes for making our life and your life absolutely better. Getting rid of anxiety, fear, all those other hang-ups and issues that we have, and have the life we deserve and make dreams come into reality quicker, bigger, better than you could ever dream of. But they're the longer podcasts, and this is a 5-minute quickie where we break down the complicated into simple, because in simplicity there's genius, and that's what we do here. So if you want to just think for a little while, see what happens, see what resonates inside you, and when it does, you go change the world. Personal development, unplugged. Hey friend, 5-minute quickie. 5-minute quickie and on video as usual. Well, not as usual because it's about the third time, that's all. But hey, we're going to try. We're going to try with all different types of things. We've got stuff that we can play around with. I've got this thing. And if I just look at you, I'm a bit more now, and even a bit more. So when we get to the important stuff, we're going to be like this. But hey, I wanted to talk to you. Because I had a harsh note to myself the other day. And because I was stumbling around a little bit, and I kept saying to myself, oh, where the hell do I start? Where do I start on this thing I want to do? I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know that. Maybe there's a limiting belief in here that's stopping me. Maybe I'm not good enough or imposter, all that stuff. If it wasn't that, I'm sure you can gravitate to that type of thought that we may have when we want to do something and we're just not getting it. Because I want to be able to get it. And the thing is, I gave myself a harsh note. I gave myself a metaphorical slap across the cheek. And I started with just writing what I wanted, and I thought, I just don't know. You don't know, Cloughie? No, you didn't know. So I thought to myself, well, if I don't start, there's no step at all, is there? No step whatsoever. So that to me wasn't really a starting step, as it were, to make no step. And I thought, well, what would happen? What would happen if I just took one step, just that little bit closer, just a little bit closer. One step that I thought might be even closer than that. And the thing is, I thought to myself, well, it doesn't matter, does it? Because if I don't know a step, but I know where I want to go, then just take any step, because it'll be a sort of considered step anyway. You'll think about it. You're not just go blindly making steps. You're going to I think this is about the right one. Because if you make a start, you start the momentum, you start the movement, you start to get a little bit of motivation inside you because you're starting to move towards wherever you want to go. And the thing about that is, you can do two things. once you start making those steps, you might want to just have a little look back over there, see how far you've come, but also just stop for a moment and review, how close am I to my target, where my focus of attention is, the bigger picture, my goal, my outcome in mind. And if I'm not, I can reconsider, regroup, have a look to see where I want to go. But I'll have learned something, won't I? I'll have learned something from the steps I've already made. Whether they were the right steps or the not so right steps, they would be a learning point, a learning curve. And we carry on using it and then just grind it out. And I said to myself, just grind it out, Cloughie, because you'll get there as long as you take a step and then another step. Because then you just get, as I said, just a little bit closer, and you tend to get that feeling, I'm getting there. And I think when you do that and you have the will to do whatever it takes, and you've set your intention where you're going, intuition comes in. Your unconscious mind starts to help guide you too. So it's not random. They're not random steps. What I'm saying is take a considered step, but not too big a one. So you can enjoy yourself and move forward. And then if you need to, stop, pause, look around. But you'll have made headway. You'll have found something. If nothing else, you'll have learnt what doesn't work. And there's so many people who have made fantastic inventions by finding out first all the things that doesn't work. And sometimes the things that doesn't work actually becomes another invention. An old Post-it note was supposed to be, I think, a glue that always sticks, and it got temporarily, it wasn't a glue. And then the Post-it note is around the whole world. And you can buy them in multicolours. But it's that type of thing. So you're going to learn something, maybe to use something differently, but you'll get to where you want to go. Because there's one thing for bloody certain. If you don't take a step, you will not get there. And somebody else will. Somebody else will do the work. And you won't get to say, I get to do this and I got to do this. So my note to myself was, and there's initials here because they're to me, it was FYMF. See if you can get that. Another one, shush. No one cares, so just bloody start. And it's important to just start. Make a list, pick one thing which you think is the right thing to do, and do that, and then review where you are. So that's the 5-minute quickie. It's just something that I found interesting. And if you are struggling, there's lots of other things we can do, lots of other processes, and see what's stopping you and that goal setting and all that stuff. But they're all bloody useless if you don't make that one step. So do enjoy. Yeah, do enjoy. Enjoy the steps. Enjoy your life. Enjoy every heartbeat, as I always say. This was a 5-minute quickie. Please share it with everyone you know and enjoy, because it's time to fly. Bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.